Hello fellow tankers, this is Dauntless, and today I'm going to be playing in my Tier 9 Chinese medium tank, the WZ-120. The WZ-120 is kind of a weird tank, and it's basically a T-54 medium tank with the gun of a Tier 10 heavy tank, which means that it is quite inaccurate, but if you're able to use the mobility and the camouflage that a medium tank has, and hide and ambush vehicles, you can really put the hurt in and trade shots very effectively just because of the high damage and alpha that this gun carries, which is 440 alpha with 249 penetration. And this gun actually has some great premium ammo as well, with heat having penetration values of 340, which can punch through the turret of an E100 if you ever have to do it. So we'll get into some pregame analysis here. You'll notice that we are facing a super uni and a uni. And this guy right here, I'll Make You Die Noob, is an awesome player. I've faced up against him on the Western server many times, and he has killed me many times. So whenever I get into a match and I see him on the opposing team, I usually play a little bit more cautiously. And you'll see that in how I play this game today. This Bat Chat right here, also a very good player, and from what I understand of this map, medium tanks primarily conquer this northern corner. And their team is mostly comprised of medium tanks in general. They have a Batchat STB, TVP, AMX-30, Batchat AP T-54, and actually a couple light tanks as well. About half their team are mobile tanks. And because of that, when I load into this game, I immediately think they're going to just dominate the north. Compared to that, we have some very good players, but we have a heavy tank, a tank destroyer, and another heavy tank. Those three are probably going to push down into this little valley here, as well as our top tier tanks. They're probably going to push down there as well. And the only people that I feel like will push to counter their attack here is myself, my platoon mate Gauntlet, and this T-54. That's quite unbalanced, and if I was to get myself in that situation, I would probably die. This T-54 probably knows that as well, and Gauntlet knows that very well. And I've played this map with Gauntlet multiple times, and I know he likes to play this area, try to get some early lights. So immediately I know Gauntlet is not going to be pushing the northern corner, and it's just kind of up to bat if this T-54 goes or not. I really contemplated if when this game started, I decided, okay, if the T-54 goes to that corner, I'm going to try to back him up, because at least we'll be able to slow him down. I know the South is going to have no issues just wiping right through their flanks. It'll just be a matter of time before we can win, if we can hold them. But for some reason, if the North gets completely overrun and they're able to get behind us like this, our heavies in the valley will be completely surrounded, and we will most definitely lose this game. So it's really up to holding the North in this game to win. Like, this is where the deciding factor is going to be. That being said, let's get started. So you'll notice that the T-54 is pushing down into the south. And the second I see this, I think, okay, I need to play very defensively here. I know that if I push up into A1, or I'm sorry, C1, this tank's bad gun depression won't allow me to brawl very effectively. I'll be leaving myself to their good artillery player, and honestly, I'm going to be overrun by like 9 tanks, or that was my gut feeling anyway. And for those of you who don't know this location, this is an extremely strong defensive location for the southern base. It almost makes this map unbalanced in a sense. This location actually does not get used very often. I've hardly seen any players use this spot, but if you're ever in a situation where you have to defend this flank and you have a somewhat bouncy turret, this is an amazing location. And you'll see here that I'm pretty much concealed, and my view range goes all the way to here. Anything pushing this corner, I'll be able to spot, and anything going up onto this ridge, I'll actually be able to still shoot. So the T-54 gets lit, and I'm thinking, okay, am I going to get the shot? See, their super uni gets lit, and I'm thinking, okay, he's probably going to be trying to get shots down at the Dauntless. And then this Bat Chat AP gets lit, and I put a nice round into him. Rolled a little bit low there, but I'll take it. And then, yep, right there you'll see that they are pushing very aggressively up this side. I still haven't been lit yet, and they have no idea that I'm here. That shot just totally went wonky. That's what you get for having a heavy tank gun on a medium tank. But this is how you play this location. You have to be worried about artillery because you are vulnerable. But I'm assuming artillery has their hands full with these heavies down there. He probably has good shots straight down into there. But if you play this, you don't need any gun depression to play this location. And you are extremely safe from anything lighting you or anything being able to shoot you from the left. And as they push through here, they're forced to engage you. And it's very easy to defend this place, even with one vehicle. And I'm getting lights for artillery while I do this. So I wasn't able to pen that STB-1. Their turrets are very bouncy, and I made just a quick snapshot. WZ-132 gets lit, and I prioritize him because I just don't want lights to be, or him to be lighting our guys. Batchet AP, try to go for a track shot there, but I know that RNG might make me miss if I aim right for the wheel well, so I'm a little bit to the left. Was not able to track him, but really unfortunate there that Gauntlets got clipped by that Batchat. Buddy, I'm really sorry. I know the first replay I featured you in with my Type 62, you also got killed by Artie, and don't let that fool you. Gauntlets is one of the best players I know. He's consistently always racking up like 4,000 or 5,000 damage games, and we were playing really well this night, and it's like the one game that he got killed very early that I had to end up carrying, and so anyway, sorry bud. So just traded a 398 roll for a 298 roll. I'll take it. Still a really low roll for this tank, as it does have 440 average. So I'm going to pause the game here really quickly and show you what's going on the map. It does seem like we're winning because I was successfully able to fend these enemies off, but our tanks are kind of clumped up here, and they still have their TVP, their Batchat, who are back at their base, most likely full health. They haven't really been a part of this game very much. Well, they've been getting kills, but for in terms of our flank, they've been playing very, very defensively, and so they're still very much in the game. This Jag Tiger is nowhere to be seen, and our guys are really clustered up. This is a little bit scary because it leaves them open to being surrounded. Whenever you see a group of tanks clustered like this, you got to be a little bit worried because, again, there is a possibility that they could get surrounded, and there's really nothing I can do to help them from this position. We do have one tank destroyer defending base here along with this good T-54 player, and our artillery is alive, so we will be able to utilize that. But I'm kind of getting antsy. I know that I've kind of done what I can here, but again, I don't know where the Batchat is, I don't know where the TVP is, and I don't want to leave this location in case they push. Because if a Batchat and a TVP both kind of just YOLO me, and I'm sitting where the T-54 are, I'm going to be leaving our 268 to die, and I really want to be able to get lights for Artie here. So when the T-54 gets unlit, I realize it's safe, and I push up again into this bush. And you'll notice what I'm doing here. People say, you know, I don't know how to use a tank without gun depression, and, you know, tanks without gun depression sucks. But if you really know how to use it, you really don't need gun depression if you learn how to angle your tanks. What I'm doing here is I'm utilizing the slope of the ridge here, and I'm forcing my gun to aim downward by elevating the left side of my tank. You can do this on any kind of ridge. Just find a side that's a little bit higher and drive up it at an angle, and you'll easily be able to depress your gun. See how low I can shoot now? No problem. This is part of the reason why I like Chinese vehicles so much, because their one big downside is their gun depression. But if you can get around it, they kind of become overpowered. To me, anyway. So I'm waiting for this T-54. Tree falls. There he is. Really low roll again into him. I don't know what this gun's doing to me here. But at this point, I'm thinking, okay, this guy's probably not going to push any further. Get a little greedy there. I figure he's going to try to focus on that 268 that's pushing him. And he takes out my gunner. But fortunately, I still have my medkit left. And this game is looking relatively even. But I'm really worried because they still have their very good players left. And again, they're tier 10, while our good players are tier 9s. So I come over here. I was going to help this 261 finish off this guy in case he was being circled, but he seems like he did okay for himself. I really want to light this Jag Tiger, and he hasn't been lit for a while, but I think, okay, I might be able to light him. And I peek around the corner here. Now, when you get into these situations when you're up against good players, view range is everything. And this is the reason why I do load optics on all my vehicles. Because imagine if you were in this situation and you had no view range perks and you were trying to spot enemies. That Bat Chat and TVP most certainly are running optics, and they most certainly have maxed out crews, and they're going to be able to light you way before you're going to be able to light them. And this is where having superior camouflage and maxed out view range is essential to winning these kind of games. And we have our T-57 who's been telling me how to play this game, and he doesn't realize, it does look like, if you look at the mini-map, I've been just camping in the corner all game. He doesn't know that I've racked up 2,500 damage and have successfully defended the base. But he's kind of gotten himself into a situation down there, and I think maybe he's just bitter or something because he's having a hard time and he wants my help. But I really can't worry about him right now. I'm doing what I can to aid the team the best way I know how. And again, I am being a little bit selfish, but I still want to win this game. And I know if I get myself overextended with the long reload this gun has and the clip potential of both the TVP and the Bat Chat, I will not be able to carry this game. I will just go out there and probably get clipped. And that's my biggest concern, is bumping into one of those unis alone. Things will go south extremely quickly, and again, I hope that our team can win this, but at the same time, I don't really try to trust puppies, if at all possible. I want to trust them, but I've seen too many games where everyone goes one direction and leaves one flake open, and I'm sitting there being like, really, guys? So the WZ is really not a sniper, but this is my... I really can't decide what I want to do right now. I want to find this TVP, and the second the Bat Chat gets lit in the top right corner, I realize, okay, these guys aren't actually platooned together. They are very much fighting by themselves, and they have no teamwork going on. And this is where we have an advantage. The Bat Chat's isolated, the TVP is isolated. TVP was lit up on top of this hill, so I figured, okay, if I get back into this bush, I can probably light him. But I see him, he kills our T-57, and I'm going to pause it really quick right there. The TVP was last lit right here, and he's coming balls in, just really full speed around this corner. I haven't been lit in a very long time, and the last time I was lit, I was right here. So this TVP is thinking, alright, I have no idea where this WZ is, but he probably thinks I've pushed around here, or I'm still hiding over here. He has no idea, but he does make a mistake here in coming in hot, and I know he's coming in hot, and he just killed the T-57 Heavy, so in my opinion, he's probably reloading. I'm not certain of this, but I know that if I was driving his tank, I would put a fresh clip in if I knew I was relatively safe. So I'm taking the assumption that he doesn't have any ammo loaded right now, that he's in the process of reloading, and that he's going to come around this corner. So I position myself just like this and get ready for him to come around this corner. Sure enough, he's not ready for me, and he cannot get a shot in. So my reload is coming up, and I know I can get... He's being very aggressive because, one thing, if he does have a full clip loaded by now, he has 4 shots with 320 alpha, and if he connects all 4 of them or rolls high with 3 shots, he can kill me. And he knows this, and he wants to close the distance as fast as possible, because the longer he waits to put distance between us, the more chances that I will be able to get into a more defensive location. So he's coming in very aggressively. I think he slightly underestimates this vehicle, and now I'm reloaded, and I'm able to put another shot into him. And he completely misses his shot. Because he missed his first shot, I know I have the ability to survive, and I don't have to really run. So when instead of driving up the hill away from him, I face him, and he runs away. There's no way I'm ever going to catch that guy with his top speed of, I think, like 65 kilometers an hour. I just decide to play defensively. Mr. T-57, Juggernaut 666, yes, maybe I am awful in my vehicle. Please upload a video playing this vehicle of you doing it better, and I will subscribe to your channel. So this TVP just got hit for, I think by the T-54 for like 200, 300 damage. And I think he thought that I was pushing him, or I was like following him around the mountain. And I get into a very defensive haul down position. If he comes around this corner, he's going to die. And I really did expect more from this player, but there he is. By the time he got lit, it was way too late. He realized he made a mistake, but he was driving way too fast, and he died. And now it's my turn to make a large mistake. I realized that artillery last was lit in A3, and I come around this corner. I'm getting greedy now. I got over 4k damage, and I want that extra kill. And before I can even aim, boom, he nukes me. But, you know, I was able to do what I did for my team, and I'm happy with those results. So we, as you know, we easily mopped up this arty and won this game. Just to sum up what happened in this game, looking at the beginning, I realized that there were a lot of medium tanks that were in the north, or were going to push aggressively in the north. I realized our tanks were mostly going to push south, and I single-handedly defended this side with the help of some of my teammates, but mostly it was me being here that prevented the STB and the Batchat and all those other vehicles from pushing across. If I wasn't here and Gauntlets died, our TD would have been probably circled by that Batchat that I killed, and they would have started to cap, our guys would have had to gone back, and this game would have probably been over in the first 5 minutes. But again, one player can make a huge difference, because me being here putting in giant shots into their side really prevented them from pushing into the north, forcing some of them to retreat, letting our south have more time to get into their capture and eventually kill everything there. And I was able to play kind of smart, mostly just kind of campy in this vehicle, but really there's no set rules as to how you're supposed to play a vehicle. If I had followed what the norm was for this vehicle and pushed north, I would have died probably within a minute. And if I had gone to the middle, our base would have been captured. If I had pushed with the heavies, I would not have made it back in time. So going against the grain with what you're told about a vehicle can sometimes work to your advantage if you know what you're doing. Don't just willy-nilly pick a bush and be like, I'm going to sit here and see what I can do because I'm afraid of going out and fighting. No, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. But if you know a position like this G1 position is completely overpowered, if you play it right, use it to your advantage. Defensive positions like that can be extremely effective in holding back multiple vehicles, especially when you have supportive tank destroyers and artillery. So again, kind of an unorthodox replay. I don't think a lot of YouTubers would showcase this kind of campy behavior or defensive behavior, but I'm really trying to upload these kind of replays that are different than what the normal player will showcase. And I'm showing you guys that there are alternative tactics that you can employ to win games like this, instead of just kind of going to the flank that you're used to going or where you're expected to go as a medium. I mean, you saw this T-57 was yelling at me the whole game, telling me to do my job, that I'm a horrible player, I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, I went up against unis and I ended up getting top damage in a tier 9 Chinese tank, which I think is pretty good. So if you thought this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. The links are in the description below, and you can follow me there. I will be posting new videos as I upload them. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. You've been awesome, and I'll talk to you guys later.